Space buds, we're buds in space. We're space best friends. Space buds, we're buds in space. Best friends until the end. We're space buds. However, the creed that kind of connects your crew on this dinky little A-class cruiser you find yourself in on this fine space day is fuck the corporation. You don't want none of their rules, their regulations, and their nonsense. But unfortunately, you are wanted by them.
Nonconformists.
Yes, definitely. Alrighty, so you're going along. It's you to the strange kind of hacked droid that was stowed away on this vessel when you basically stole it from a mobster, space mobster. Sitting in the cockpit is the little robot, and then like just behind him with his arm on the android's shoulders is.
So my character is a Traal Envoy. He's dressed pretty commonly. He's nothing too flashy or fancy. He's just got his weapon at his hip and a big leather holster. His name is... I didn't even think of a name. We'll call him Traxis.
Traxis. Sounds like an STD.
don't be contracting the Traxis.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just sitting there, kind of observing into outer space as all the space particles go by.
Well, he's just gazing off into the distance, being like, "Space. What a open kind of place this is." And he's waxing poetical in his mind as the door behind him opens, and out from the common room comes
Seth, the Zenoid Merc. I'm wearing a modified outfit that's been modified with armor. I used to work on a Zenoid observation probing abduction ship, and so I have a little camcorder, and I'm trying to record Traxis, as he's waxing poetic about space.
Polar, the android ace, who kind of pipes up and is like, "Hey, boss! It says here on our readings that we're running low on dilithium again."
Well, we better stop somewhere and get some more.
Well, his circuitry kind of flips a bit, and he's like, "Oh, if we aren't able to get more dilithium, we'll die out here." Godforsaken space debris just floating in the void.
We'll be okay. We just need more fuel. It's not the end of the galaxy, you know.
Indeed, it is not, for sensors are picking up, a star system, uncharted. It's named, but has not been explored or settled at all by the UPC. And though your star maps are old, they do bear its name. It is the Valar system, the only system around for enough, distance that you'd be able to get there with the amount of dilithium you have left. What should we do, boss?
Guess we should probably head for the Valar system.
Yeah, and who's in charge also? Are y'all just co-captains?
I feel like Traxis, he's the envoy. I'm kind of happy just to do my own thing and be the muscle.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm probably, just sitting there with my, just hand stroking my non-existent facial hair. Well, it's not any other place for gas around here, so let's mosey on that way.
Well, Polar kind of sets the coordinates, heading 69 Mark 420, and the ship kind of starts thrusting over in that direction. This little rinky-dink shuttle of yours, it's 3 rooms. It is spray painted on the outside red, although a lot of the paint is chipped off, and it's definitely not a galactic class vessel. This thing, it has a small warp core, but it's only worth like small little one-use jumps. Everything else you got to do with thrusters.
Mm-hmm.
But it does have, as you guys were talking about before, the little hollow goggles capability. So at least you can stay entertained on your long voyages.
Playing VR chat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, VR porn.
Oh god.
Just sitting in the common room.
Seth is the weird guy who like approaches you with new tapes and is like, "Hey, I recorded this recently. You want to watch with me?"
Nah, I'm fine. You better keep your all your orifices to yourself.
Seth's the kind of guy who comments on porn videos.
Yeah, that too.
On the uplink, which is this universe's version of the internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, you start thrusting over toward the Vela star system, and it takes about an hour or so before you get within range, and then Polar puts it up on screen. The Vela system. It's a single star system with 4 orbiting planets. They look pretty cool. They got a lot about them is cool. He pulls up on the scanners and it's showing is like two of these rocks are dead, no life signs whatsoever. But 2 of them look like they got some life forms on them doing the boogaloo.
Is there any like sort of orbital space station or something kind of like orbiting one, or is it just a planet? There's like no custom check-in, I suppose.
Let me check. Boop, boop, boop. He's checking, but no. Unfortunately, he pulls up. There's no stations, no ships in orbit. This is an uncharted star system. 2 of the planets are just dead, floating rocks, and 2 of them are showing promising signs of having veins of dilithium. However, they also read as having life forms on them. One far more than the other. One has faint life signs, and one is like very bountiful with life signs.
Okay.
These are Vela 1, Vela 2, Vela 3, and Vela 4. Let's see, 2 and 4 are the dead rocks, and 1 and 3 contain the life signs. 1 is the furthest, and 3 is a bit closer. 1 is the one with faint life signs. 3 is the one with bountiful life signs.
I think we'll probably have a better chance of finding some fuel if we go to the most densely populated area. I ain't been here before, so I don't know this part of town.
There might be, some settlements.
It sounds like you're leaning towards charting a course for Vela 3. Alrighty. Well, he puts in the coordinates, boosting toward there with your low dilithium reserves, and you begin your descent into Vela 3. It appears to you as actually a pretty green planet with water, with plant life, definitely class M. And as you come into the atmosphere, you are flying over lush jungle surfaces with like massive mega flora, like giant jungle trees. But the forests are also dotted with these strange geometric obelisks, as tall as skyscrapers, with strange geometry scratched into the surface, or carved into it rather. And as you begin flying, the tops of these obelisks levitate off and then start flying toward you. They appear to be just like flying spheres with little pyramid shapes that spin around them in a fast circle as they fly, about as big as your ship, and there's 4 of them fast approaching. Woo, 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 the sensor thing is saying.
I gotta get this on camera. I'm trying to record it as much as possible.
You're elbowing over, to look through the window, and you're like, hold on. And the pilot's just like, I can't reach the cockpit controls.
No, this is more important.
Gotta upload this to my vlog.
Polar, can you scan those things and let me know if they're armed or some shape or form hostile?
Scanning now. Half of this motion is just like wasted momentum of just like his arm extending and then like readjusting, and then he's just pushing a button, but it's like moving his arm back and forth. Finally pushes it, and it starts scanning. Pulls it up on screen, pulling up a bunch of nonsense. These things do not have any recorded data logs in any codex that is programmed onto your ship. They are completely alien and foreign. Only thing you can sense about them is that they have a power signature that appears to be that of just pure dilithium, not even like refined. And it's charging up, like they are charging something up, perhaps weapons, but also perhaps like a little greeting or like fireworks or something.
I like where this is going. Let's go ahead and let's get the shields up, Polar.
Do we have shields?
We have shields.
Hey, I'm putting the shields up. Come on, what's wrong with yous? They are level 1 shields. They are not super good, but they are better than nothing. So I'm going to roll pilot checks here for your pilot android and these other ship pilots. So Polar has a +2 here, but he is boosted. Nice. He gets a 14. I'll just do 1 for all the bad guys, actually. They only have a +1. 7. All right. So Polar jumps into action, activates shields, and is ready to take orders before the other, ships can act.
Evasive maneuvers. I'm like, keep the ship steady enough so that I can keep on filming this.
Yeah, don't move around too much, Polar, okay? I gotta get good footage of this. This is a rare alien race, undiscovered.
I was going to see if we could try to talk to him. I was going to say, open hailing frequency.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he hails them. He's like, Captain, they're responding.
On screen.
Pulls it on screen. Imagine literal Stickman, where like the head is a circle. It's like that. Like the body is an alien body, but like the head is just this floating, like black orb. And it, like no eyes, no features, nothing. And it takes a second. There's a delay on your translator because you guys got the cheap translator.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like first it's just like and it garbles, and then so that's how they talk. But then it comes through and it's like, alien race, you have entered the sect Imperius. Lower your ship to the ground now and prepare for infiltration.
Hey, I'm the one who's supposed to be doing the infiltration on people.
I do not know what that means.
Look. We can all settle this amicably. Now we're just here, get some fuel. We haven't been here before, but once we get some dilithium, we can just be out of your hair. All right?
Give the dilithium to those without rounded faces and strange infiltrating speakingness. Sometimes the translator, it's a little. It doesn't know what to do with certain words.
Yep.
No, we outnumber you 4-1. Prepare to be obliterated. And they end the call.
Now you can do evasive maneuvers.
Evasive maneuvers. You start careening up and down.
Do a barrel roll.
All right, so both y'all, I need you to roll an agility check. And this is going to be difficulty of 6. And if you fail, you're going to bonk your head.
I got an 11.
I got a 2.
So, the pilot careens left and right and starts doing barrel rolls and stuff. Traxis kind of uses his grasshopper legs to sturdy himself and holds on to the roof. But unfortunately, Seth is too short to grab onto something. And so as you're flipping
I'm too
around,
focused on filming.
Yeah, you're like, wait, no, I'm going to get a great shot. So yeah, you're like, bonk, bonk. So go ahead and remove 1 health, Seth, as the thing does a barrel roll, you like bang your head on the roof.
Okay.
They're letting loose with some strange weapons you guys aren't aware of. It's like beams of like unfiltered dilithium. They're just like these crazy green beams that just like tear through the jungle foliage as they miss you.
Can I jump on some guns now? Can I use some of those
Yes.
weapons that we? So it's a cannon that shoots superheated titanium rods.
So this is an actual like kinetic weapon, not a laser weapon.
Right. No, this is like, but it's like a really high tech kinetic weapon where it makes the titanium like that is it's so superheated and it goes so fast that it like turns to plasma.
Wow.
Yeah.
They call it a load. You gotta blow a load of titanium.
Gotta blow some loads.
Blow a hot load of titanium at these flying orbs. Shoot those balls! So you are boosted in this because you're a merc. So you're going to roll 2d10, and then add your agility. And the difficulty to hit them, their shield is 9.
I did not miss.
You blow a load, but unfortunately, they have some evasive maneuvers of their own. The like all the weird like pyramids circling around the sphere. They do a Galaga maneuver where they like spiral in front of it, and the titanium just like hits those things and knocks a few of them off, but the sphere itself remains unhindered. Did you hit him, boss?
Shut up.
Maybe that concussion didn't.
Yeah.
It kind of messed with your perception.
I got a big head and big eyes, so if I get hit in the head, it really creates the double vision.
Well, you're doing evasive maneuvers, you're firing at them, they're going to fire at you now. So you got 4 shots coming at you. 2 misses, and 1 hit, and another miss. So they're blasting dilithium rays at you guys. You're now like low to the ground, like you're flying like level with the tops of the trees. Like you're like zooming in and out of the trees and like ramming through like vines and tree branches. There's like a strange like 4-armed monkey that's on like a tree branch, and you guys like hit it and it's like splattered on your windshield.
Oh no,
God.
He's a little bit alive, and he's like looking through the window at you, and he's like just screaming and like, what the fuck is happening? But don't worry, you got windshield wipers, and it's like. But while you're doing,
I think I got it on camera.
Yeah,
I think I got it.
a new alien species that you can catalog. But while you're doing that, while you're distracted by the monkey on the windshield, one of them scores a direct hit onto your ship, and I get to roll a little d10 here. Getting a 9 life support failure. So D100 minutes until they're totally offline. It's 87, which we don't have to calculate that exactly, but basically you guys are going to need to fix that before going back into space. There's like a huge, crash in the ship. It shakes you guys around. The corner of the ship is smoking, and there's like a little plasma fire starting somewhere, probably in the common room. And you hear like, the automated ship's computer being like, life support systems offline. Wah, wah.
I'm like, no, my porn.
Porn reserves depleted. Yeah, so your ship is like smoking, but it's still in ship shape. Well, I guess not ship shape, but it's enough to fly. Mm-hmm. You're still through the trees. Any special orders? What's next?
I tell Polar, I say, Polar, we gotta get out of here fast. We need to find a place to hide. We need to drop behind some geography somewhere and go into low power mode. Don't let them find us.
Scanning the terrain. Its scans are like mapping out the geography of the place. It's going to take a minute or two, though.
Okay, and then whilst he's doing that, I'm gonna run in the common area and see what happens if there's anything on fire right now.
Yes, you run into the common room. The door's open, and like the couch is on fire, and there's like a visible hole in the wall, and you can see like out into the jungle, and like there's like wind whipping through it, and all the like loose papers and random shit are just like flying around the room.
I guess I'm still manning the guns.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Traxis, is everything okay? What's on fire?
There's a big gaping hole in the wall, and the couch is on fire.
Okay, just the couch?
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll handle it. And I start to
Okay, if
yank
it's
the
the
fire
couch, that's
extinguisher.
fine. I don't care about the couch.
Don't worry, your porn stash is safe.
Those are notes.
And just to be clear, it's not a stash if everyone knows where it is.
Those are notes for the home world.
It's not porn. It's interactive adult video networking.
It's an art form, is what it is.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
Thank you.
So you're gonna blast them, Seth? You're gonna be...
Yeah, I'm gonna keep on shooting back at them.
All right, make a shot. I'll say if you get a crit, you hit two at a time.
An 11 in
cool,
total.
That'll hit. All right, cool. So this does hit one. So you're like, all right. You've calibrated for their defenses, and you're like, all right, you motherfuckers. And then another titanium load fires out. That's the sound it makes, by the way. It's hot melted titanium, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it blasts into one of them and just like starts melting through their ship's, core and everything, and it's like blows up next to a tree on the ground 100 meters back. 3 remain. Polar pops up and he's like, all right, done with the scans. I'm detecting a cave hidden behind a waterfall, just like 500 meters that way, or I don't know how fast space ships go. Kilometers.
That's probably about right. Get us there. We need to get out of here right now.
All right, he's flying toward it. You're going through the trees. You're now like down beneath the canopy level, and you're like dodging these trees are like giant redwoods. I mean, they're not redwoods, I guess, like specifically that type of tree, but they're like massive and they're super thick, like thick enough you could, drive a car through them or make a tunnel through them. And but you're weaving in and out of these trees, and like you see like a giant moth like alien creature that's like peacefully flying by, and one of the alien ships hits it. Like, you guys are just crashing through a bunch of shit. I'm gonna roll an agility save, or I'll have Polar and then the remaining 3 pilots roll agility saves to avoid crashing into trees. Boom, gets it easily with. I mean, he rolled a 12 plus 3, or plus 2. But so he's good, and then the 3 remaining. Let's see here. 1 makes it, 1 fails, and another makes it. So you're going through all these trees, and then like one of them just straight up hits with smack dab in the middle of a giant jungle tree and blows up. 2 of them are still following you, and you're coming up on the waterfall, but they're gonna get to shoot at you again. 1 fail and 1 success. All right, let's roll another d10, see what we get. Oh, we got a hull breach. Certain areas are open to the vacuum of space. That doesn't apply now. The living room now has like a door-sized hole, as one of them blasts another dilithium beam, basically where you got shot before. And so now I need Traxis to make an agility check, medium difficulty of 7.
Oh, God. It's a 4.
Okay, so there's a big explosion. There's a hole ripped open in the ship, and the side of the ship. It's kind of like spiraling, and then like as it's spiraling, the centrifugal force like pulls you out of the ship, and Traxis falls down to the jungle floor.
I'm all the way out of the fucking ship.
Yeah, but you have you're like a insectoid creature with an exoskeleton. So you're just gonna take 1 point of damage as you like fall. You're hitting branches and branches, and you smack into the mud at the floor, and the roar of spaceships flying by lessens as they pass by. There's inside the spaceship. There's like alarms going off. Polar's like, he's like, we're all gonna die, and then fortunately though, he's able to steer it as best he can straight into a waterfall. The other two ships, they just think that he's crash landing because the ship's like spiraling out, and so they like fly off, continuing on above the forest. But the ship, Seth and Polar, crash through a waterfall, through into a cave hidden behind it, and the ship like grumbles to a halt. Its hull totally just scraped all to hell. There's a massive hole in the side. A lot of systems are offline. Seth, all of your probe collection got scattered all across the cave.
God damn it.
And it comes to a halt. Traxis is probably, half a mile off into the jungle somewhere, and you are now in the cave with Polar. So, Traxis.
I'm probably picking myself up from being face down in the mud.
Yep.
At this point, I kind of don't know where I am. I just stand up and I look around. What's in my immediate surroundings?
Well, you stand up, brush yourself off, get kind of the mud off, and you are in like a mega jungle. There's like these massive skyscraper-sized trees that surround you, and the jungle floor itself is just like covered in foliage. You see like giant like centipedes the length of your arm. They're like crawling up at one tree. There's like plants that are, big and colorful and strangely shaped. You see like what looks like a jackalope, but it's got like 4 legs, and it like sees you and like sprints away really fast. You are definitely on a uncharted planet. You do see smoke trails, though, I'm going to say, in the sky, heading the direction that the ship was going.
Okay. Do I hear any engines like coming back this direction at all?
No, you don't hear any ship engines. You just hear the cackling of strange alien monkeys as they like jump from tree to tree.
Okay. Well, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to use my big old insectoid grasshopper legs because I need to hurry up and get back to where I was. And I'm just going to start just in a full dead sprint following the smoke trail as long as I can before it like dissipates.
Cool. All right, so you start sprinting. Yeah, your legs are powerful, and you're able to like take these long strides and cover a lot more distance than a human would be able to. And you're following it. Eventually, you come to a clearing, and you see this nice little serene lake, and a waterfall beautifully cascading down into the lake from an above cliff. However, one thing does catch your eye. Near the banks of this river, there appears to be bottom half of a person. And you notice, too, that they appear to be like a human half.
The bottom half of a human person?
Yes. It's wearing UPC boots, trousers that are caked with mud, and then it just like stops about halfway up the body where there's just, it seems to have been violently bisected.
Oh dear. Yeah, I just kind of like scan the immediate area, I suppose, or the area of that what's left of that body.
Now, do you have a scanner, or do you mean like you're just going to survey it with your?
No, I'm just going to survey it with my big bug eyes.
All right, make for me an intelligence check with a difficulty of 8.
Okay. Nope, I need to stop using these dice. Sucked out of a ship when I use these dice.
Well, you look around and, you're like, wow, this is a really nice place, except for this strange, just like, half of a cadaver here. You can't find any other clues other than that.
Now this is certainly strange, right? Because if it is a like UPC guy or the bottom half of one, this is supposed to be like uncharted space, right? Like not
Correct.
too many people come through here. Okay.
No, yeah. It's just been named because they've seen it through their long range like telescopes. But according to official UPC records and star maps, no one's been here.
Well, that's raising a lot of red flags, but I can't really worry about it right now. I got to figure out to get back to the ship without being seen, preferably.
Alrighty, so you're gonna climb up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it would be a treacherous climb for a human, but with your trawl appendages and hoppy grasshopper legs, you're able to jump and mountain goat climb your way up this kind of cliff face, and you burst through the water to see Seth and Polar, with Seth hurriedly picking up all of his butt probes and dusting them off.
They're not just butt probes, God.
What else do they probe?
Well, I'm just saying, that's not the collection. I also have tapes, I have journals, I have DVDs and things.
I just walked
My
up
apologies.
like, oh, good to see you, Traxis. We were worried about you, Traxis. You only fell out of the ship,
Like, did you see anything cool? Did you bring me back any gifts?
No!
That's very rude of you.
I fell from the ship.
Yeah, and all of my stuff got scattered around some dank cave. My homeworld hasn't had vegetation on it for 3,000 years, okay? Do you think I like being here touching dirt?
Yeah, it's gross.
Thank you.
Pinching the place between, my nose or where it would be. Oh, gosh. Let's try to get this fixed so we can hurry up and get out of here. There's a lot of strange stuff that I'd rather not deal with right now.
Polar, his software malfunctioning again. He's like, so where you guys think we are? Queens? We in Queens right now?
I have no idea. The round face man said something about some sort of empire or something like that. I can't remember. But they obviously don't want us here. So we're just going to get the dilithium, and then we're going to leave. We can find some around here. That shit don't grow on trees.
Well, boss, I hate to correct you there, but it might do here, because they were shooting us with unrefined dilithium. That's so wasteful. You got to have a lot of dilithium to be able to shoot unrefined beams at people.
That's true.
You kind of look around the cave system, and you're in a big the mouth to this cave, and it goes deeper, and it gets steeper as it goes as well, down. But then again, there's also the at the bottom end, it kind of splits off, and there's a smaller passage that goes off to the right, and that passage goes up, because you're in the middle of a cliff face right now, basically. So, up would go up to the surface at the top of the cliff, and then down would go deep down into the earth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
My third boost is in voyeurism, which I think is kind of like perception. So can I get any more information about the cave and where these two paths might go?
Yeah. Okay. So roll me. We'll say it's difficulty 6, and go ahead and boost it because of voyeurism, and make it intelligence.
Okay. 17.
Nice. Okay, that's really good. So, Seth gets distracted because he sees these two, I don't know, they're cave slug things, but they're pretty big. They're the size of dogs, and they're slithering away down a passage, and he kind of follows them, and because they're he turns the corner and sees that they're humping each other, and they're going at it. And
okay, I'm definitely recording this.
Yeah, he's recording and voyeuristically looking, from behind a a cave bush, because there's like vegetation in here too. I was behind the bushes. Anyway, but you're like, whoa, this is great. This is great. I'm recording some great stuff. But then as you like zoom in on the background, you like notice something, and you see that there is giant footprints. They look almost like lizard footprints, like a gecko might make, with like the thumb kind of goes straight backwards, and the finger and each of the tips of the foot pad are like enlarged, and the footprints run along the wall and then the ceiling of the cave system, heading downward, and they appear like if the creature has feet this big, it would be as large as like 2 school buses in length.
Well, unless they change it up soon, I think I have as much information from this particular coupling as I'm gonna get.
They're very uncreative.
Yeah. I kind of sigh and go back to the ship. So I tell Traxis about the giant gecko footprints. And then what do we want to do?
Well, first things first. We need fuel. Then we need to fix the ship. Because we ain't getting back up into space until that big mother of a hole over there that I can literally walk through, I should know, I fell through it, is fixed.
Yeah, next time try not to fall through the hole, okay? You could have helped me get my stuff together faster.
Well, next time shoot better.
Boys. There's no need to argue, okay? Here's what I can do. I can turn on the scanners, and I'll scan the caves for dilithium veins.
Is that going to attract any unwanted attention?
I mean, it shouldn't.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, well, Polar gets out a device and begins, like, tuning it on, and bloop, and he's like, all right, here we go. And hits a button, and it's like, blue, now scanning, blue, blue, and it's like sending very loud, echoing noises down throughout the cavern.
I unshoulder my Tesla rifle, and I put my camera on a tripod. So that I can have both hands on my gun.
Scanning at 5%. Scanning at 10%. Scanning at... And he's like, I'm sorry, boss. It's set to notify me at each multiple of 5.
Could you turn
25%. I have to go into the preferences, and it's a mess in there. It's just a whole hassle. It's better just to let it play out. 55%. 60%. But it keeps going and going, and you do hear, just about as it gets to like 95%, you hear just like this low grumbling sound coming from deep within the cave, and it's like, and then it like settles back down. But it completes 100%. He's like, good news, boss. The deep down in the caverns beneath us, it's very rich in dilithium. I haven't seen veins like this since I saw Seth's mother. His legs.
Wow. You're lucky that I hated my mother.
I didn't even have a mother. I never my mother.
So the scans indicate, I want to say they indicate 2 things. They indicate, 1, there are dilithium veins, dilithium deposits deeper down in the cave, but that the pathway up to the cliff, the scans reveal there's some sort of settlement atop the cliff. It's small, but it's definitely there, and there are life signs there for sure.
A settlement on top of the cliff?
Yep, or at least on top of the cliff and then back a ways, like not like right at the edge of the cliff, but like a couple 100 meters away from it or something.
Do we trust that there aren't more circle dudes who will shoot us if we go up?
Well, we've already fucked up one first contact situation.
Yeah.
Might as well fuck up another.
Do we want to have Polar man the guns down here just in case some giant geckos come and try to eat the ship?
Yeah, we should definitely do that. Somebody needs to stay here after all.
Hey, I got you.
Before we do leave, I kind of want to go on the into the ship. Did we bring anything with us in the cargo hold at all? Was there anything?
Sure, yeah.
There.
I'll say that you guys can, pick 3 items of useful gear that you've brought with you, and you can just make them up.
Okay. I'm thinking, like, I don't know. You pick one, Dad, and then I'll think of something.
I mean, I think having some kind of scanner thing, like some like binoculars with some scanning features and stuff, might be good. Can we have like personal shields or something? In Halo, the grunts have the force, like the.
Oh, yeah, they're like actual shields. You like hold out when they expand. Yeah, okay, you guys can have those. There's two grunt shields.
I'm trying to think of some shit that we can barter with if these people are actually into trading at all. How about like some
moonshine,
some various cargo of gems or something that's might be worth something to somebody.
Let's see, some Saurian crystallites.
Okay.
They're both pretty rare and can also be superheated to create like a powerful energy source.
What about Calaxium crystals?
Is that Rick and Morty, right? It's like just Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have some of that. Wait, okay, no, the Saurian crystallites, that's what they do. Yeah, it's an energy source, but it's like an energy source for your body.
I see. Okay, I'm gonna take a bag full of those.
All right, and then one more thing.
How about like just some generic, I don't know, medical supplies?
Oh, smart.
Alrighty, it's a automated medi kit. You hit the button and it's like a little like robotic arm and an AI voice that like comes on and it can perform surgeries and like patch you up and stuff.
Great. I could use that right now. Is it a one-time use?
No, but it does take like a short rest to use.
Okay. Well, then I'll just take it with us.
Sure. Well, you can use it now. It would just be like waiting here for like 20 minutes or so.
Do we both want to top up our hit points?
I think we should before we go out there again. I don't know how hostile people are going to be.
Well, you sit down and activate the automated medi kit, and it like pops online. It's got like a little like a BMO face, and like a robot arm, and it's like, hello, fathers.
Fathers. Okay.
What is my purpose?
You pass the butter.
Oh.
No, you hey little buddy, you need to heal us.
I am programmed with over 5,000 different medical procedures for many species.
Well, I think that I have a concussion, at the very least.
Well, his little robot arm, it's like got 3 joints and a bunch of tools on each finger, and it like spins into action. It's like going around you, scanning, applying like band-aids, and like, I don't know, like doing other like holographic medical stuff, or not holographic, but it's like like a Star Trek. It just waves it over you, and it's like healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Polar is like walking up, and he's like, "Whoa, boss! You have another robot on the ship, and you didn't tell me?"
Yeah, this one is our son.
The medikit is like, "Shut up, bitch! Bitch detected in proximity range.
These are my daddies.
These are mine. Go die, Polar."
So rude.
He just immediately like connects to a secure uplink channel and creates like a Facebook page to get Polar to kill himself. He's just like cyberbullying Polar.
Polar. So toxic.
Automated Medikit has invited you to the Facebook page. Polar should die. But yeah, he heals you up. It's been like 20 minutes. Polar goes back to the cockpit and is like making repairs. But now your hit points are back and topped up. And the
Nope.
Medicaid is like, "Are you taking me with you, fathers?"
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
I
we're
will-
taking you with us.
I will deactivate until I am needed further. And he like folds back into a nice little briefcase shape.
What a cutie. All right, should we head up to the
Settlement.
head up to the surface?
Is that
The
where
village?
y'all are heading? Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
We got some stuff to trade, hopefully. On our way out, and I yell at Polar. Polar, fix the ship while we're gone.
All right,
But also,
I'm
man,
walking here.
man the guns if the giant gecko comes to eat the ship.
I got it.
God,
Don't worry. You can count on me. I'm gonna earn your respect.
we definitely shouldn't trust this guy.
Everyone always says I'm dumb, but I'm not. I'm smart. Anyway, he's whirring and whizzing and repairing the ship. Are you taking? Is Seth taking his video camera as well?
Oh, always.
Cool.
I need to
So-
Can I like strap it to my head? Can I have like a GoPro set up?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. But it looks really, really dumb.
Okay. How about it?
You can do it.
Straps to my chest to like on my bandolier, like it just kind of,
Like a body cam.
yeah, kind of like a body cam, so it's less
Okay. Yeah,
less
I like that.
noticeable at least.
And you got your guns, you got all the supplies, your shields, and yeah, cool. All right, well, you guys head upward in the cavern trail up to the surface and to the outpost, right, or to the settlement.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna approach
Alrighty.
it cautiously, though. Like, I don't want to just stroll right into town. I at least kind of want to wait on the edge and just get an observation of it.
Okay, cool. Well, you get up, and then the cavern kind of opens up at the other end, at the top of the cliff face, and you kind of look down at first because you have to walk around a very steep corner, and it's like, whoa, you guys are high up. But as soon as you climb back, around the corner, you're up on top of this cliff, and you can now see before you, the vast jungles of this planet and the many different geometric spires that are, like geometrically positioned across the landscape. And then you turn behind you and kind of look down a ways, down the cliff side. It's like a nice little rolling hill, and just away from you, like within like vision range, but too far to like shout. So I'll say like a football field's distance or so, 100 yards.
Mhm.
There is indeed a little settlement. It appears to be constructed around some sort of wreckage, some sort of rusted, perhaps parts of a ship, perhaps parts of a satellite. You're not quite sure, and it's supported with vines and like wood trunks and other bits of natural material to form a little like makeshift wall. And then you can see coming from within the confines of this little wall, little like campfires smoke and some little makeshift structures made out of the same kind of thing, like half from a broken ship and half from a just like animal hides and leaves and stuff like that.
Can I take out the scanning goggles and
Give it a scan.
yeah, give it a scan?
All right. Well, bloop, you pull them out. They're auto. Your preferred setting to them is like, see-through clothes. And so you like zoom in, and in your vision you can see the people there, and there are 3 life forms, and you see through their clothes and can see their hoo-has and their wieners.
Nice.
But it appears to be 1 human male, 1 Braxton female, and 1 Dronu male. Other than that, you can't tell much other than what they're doing. The Dronu is sitting around the campfire roasting something over a stick. The Braxton female is like leaning against one of the makeshift shelters, flipping a dagger up and down. And then the human male appears to be like he's standing over the fire, and he appears to be not quite yelling, but definitely raising his voice to the other two, and he's like waving his finger, pretty much like finger wagging at them, and they're just listening complacently. But you're too far away to hear what he's saying.
All right, cool. I tell Traxis that. Looks like there's some shipwrecked people. I think we should check it out. I think it's probably safe enough to at least check out.
Yeah, let's try to get a little bit closer within like earshot.
Cool. Well, you if you're stealthing forward, then give me an agility check. DC is going to be 10 for reasons I will reveal later.
Okay. Probably not going to pass much. Just bumbling around in the forest. That's a big old
9.
fat 1.
I
got a 9.
Okay, so you begin like walking toward it, and then take a step forward, and suddenly the like brush or the grass like you're walking in gives way, and you tumble down into a deep mud pit, and like you come to a halt down in just a pit of mud. It's like got like gross insects and stuff in it as well, and this like you hear the like as like a rope, snapped from above, and the trap has been sprung. Unfortunately, you guys are now in a big pit, and it has alerted the settlement dwellers a small distance away.
Well, this is the second time within the past probably hour that I've been in a mud pit, so I have to get on this planet.
Yeah, it's dirty, but it's good for your skin, I guess.
What skin?
Good for your exoskeleton.
Exoskin, yeah, sure. Shit. Okay. I'm just gonna try to jump out. Is what I'm gonna attempt to do. I'm just fucking gonna.
All right, with your troll legs.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that is a difficulty 9 agility check, but you could go ahead and give it a go.
6. Nope. That's a big fail.
Whew, you jump up as high as you can go and almost are able to grab the top of the pit, but unfortunately it's a bit too steep, and it's a bit too slippery to get any good purchase with your legs, too.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna pull out the 2 grunt shields from my like satchel or whatever, and I'm like, Traxis, okay, hold these with both hands, and then create like a little tent over both of us, and then I'm gonna rest my rifle, like make it so that there's a little slit between them that I can stick my rifle through, and then we're gonna put our backs to the wall of the thing, and that way we have some cover if they start shooting, and then you try to talk to them since you're an envoy, but then we'll be in a defensive position as best as we can if the talking don't work.
I have a better idea, but we got to do this quick.
Okay.
How wide is this particular like pit that we're in? Like, if is it long enough to like, I don't know, maybe is it like 6 feet across? Maybe. Yeah,
I'll say it's 6 feet across, 6 feet. It's like a 6 feet in diameter hole.
Okay, I immediately tell you, I'm just like, turn around and press your back against mine.
I have short little legs, but okay, we can try this.
Just do it. And because I have long legs, so it'll make up for it. And I press my back up against yours, and I like loop your arms around mine, and then I tell you to press up against the wall, and we're gonna walk up the wall by pressing on each other.
Oh, cool. Okay, that could definitely work. All right, just make it'll be an easier check. It's just a DC 5 check, but you both have to make it for it to work, and it's strength.
Oh, strength?
Well, strength or agility. You guys get.
Okay.
I will use agility.
You got a 3.
Well, that didn't work. I got a 2. Fucking damn it.
Well, it's super slippery, and you're trying to push against the wall, but your feet just keep like sinking deeper into the mud.
It was a good idea.
It was, yeah. And as they peer over the hole, you see the human man peer over, and he's like, some sort of duo creature, mud monster thing. What is it?
Hey, buddy, I resent that.
Kratos, come here. I need you to smash something for me. And Kratos like looks over the thing. It's the Dronu, and he's like, he just like grunts and doesn't say anything. And then the guy is like, Kratos, what are you doing? Come on, throw a rock down there or something. And then the Braxton female walks up, and she's like, he ain't gonna listen to you, Grant. Now these things are talking, and she looks down, and she's like, and they're covered in mud, but look, what is that? You're a Traal and a Zenoid. These things aren't here to hurt us. What's your name? People who triggered our trap.
Well, I'm Traxis, and I'd very much
Seth.
like to get out of this hole.
Will you help us out, please?
Grant is like, no, I give the order around here, and if we're going to help them out, it will be under my command. And the Braxton female is like, yeah, and she just starts, lowering a rope.
Thank
you. I did not order that.
Okay, I just grabbed the rope. I'm tired of being a fucking mud today. God damn it. I'm just grumbling to myself on the way up as I'm climbing. God damn fucking mud. I'm tired of shit.
Well, they lift you up. Kratos, the Dronu, he's big. He's like 8 feet tall and super strong. And he's just like effortlessly pulling you both up simultaneously. And once you get up to the top, the Braxton female like offers her hand, and she's like, "Hi, I'm Mala."
I stick out a exoskeletal appendage and I shake her hand. It's a pleasure.
I also stick out my hand and shake it. Seth. My name is Seth.
We heard what sounded like a ship crash not too long ago. Was that you guys?
That was us, yeah.
Well, welcome to hell.
What are you in for?
She like, come, we'll walk and talk. And the human guy like kind of like gets in between you two, and he's like, yes. We'll get to talking, but first, we must identify ranks. Protocol dictates that we identify ranks. I am an assistant manager, Grant Monroe. I am of UPC of the United Planetary Corporation, and how may I address you?
I'm Admiral Seth, and this is Head Admiral Traxis.
Well, let me stop you real quick because, and your character might know this, but they might not. So we can decide. But like the corporation, their rankings aren't military. They're like, I mean, they do operate like a military, but their rankings are all like a giant business. So like, there's no admiral. Like, there's like high notaries, and like there's
I'm just
like,
trying to fuck with this guy. I'm not trying
managers.
to trick him.
Okay. So like, he'll know immediately that you're lying, or is that you're cool with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not part of UPC. We don't give a shit about what this guy thinks.
Well, he's
and maybe Traxis wants to try to trick him, but I'm just being like a hard ass merc.
He's like, Admiral of what?
Admiral, my fist to your face if you don't, stop talking about protocol.
Okay, that's hostile language. Protocol. Hold on, there's an article for this, and he's like flipping through like a PDF on like a Kindle. It says employee manual on it. It's like a Kindle, but it's really thick. It's because it's got so much data in it.
Yeah. What my little gray friend means to say is that I hired him on. I outsourced some help from the UPC. I am assistant manager Traxis. We were lost in space trying to find some fuel. We came to this planet because it had the most life signs, thinking, hey, they might have some fuel to give us. And well, they were they weren't very nice.
You're telling us, says Mala. She's like, we were contracted out too. Came here, feels like forever ago, but probably a couple months. We've been here just trying to survive. They shot us down as soon as we entered atmosphere.
Yeah, same happened to us. Hey, let me ask you: is this all you guys? Is this all you have?
We had more, but we lost them at various stages of trying to survive. And Grant pops in and he's like, they were acceptable losses under Article 47B of the Employee Handbook. They were brave employees of the corporation, and they gave their lives for the greater profit. And for that, we are thankful. I'm glad to see another assistant manager. Well, actually, make a personality check, but it won't be hard to get it. It's just 6 difficulty.
Okay.
You're boosted.
Yeah, I was about to say I have language check, so I'll go ahead and do that. That is, it's a 14.
Boom. Well, he's like, yeah.
One of those was actually a 10, so I guess I crit.
Oh, crit. Yeah. Okay. So he is. Well, do you want to outrank him then instead of it being another assistant manager? Do you want to be a full-fledged manager?
Yeah, I'll be a full-fledged manager.
All right. He's like, oh, you have no idea how much of a relief it is to find someone who outranks me, sir. I have been following protocol to the best of my abilities, but I have found that the native population here to be very difficult to convert to capitalism. They have not accepted the glorious gifts of our credit system. I have attempted on numerous occasions to show them how to establish a bank account with the corporation, and they shot 2 of my men. So I'm just kind of at a loss here, and boy, am I glad to see you.
What's the status on getting out of here? How's that been going?
Mala chimes in, and she's like, as if, and Grant is like, well, getting out. I mean, I don't mean to undermine your authority, sir, but protocol dictates that we don't leave until we establish a thriving economy.
Protocol dictates that we don't all get shot in half.
Yes, but correct me if I'm wrong, but the handbook does also say about cutting your losses from time to time, diminishing returns and all that nonsense. Obviously these people don't want to be negotiated with. They've shot down both of us. What good would it do just to stay here and try to prolong the inevitable answer?
Well, that is a difficult concept for a high up in the corporation individual to accept. So I need a personality check of difficulty 11 in order to convince him of that.
For just cutting losses.
Yeah, and under corporation, protocol, cutting losses would be them just leaving everyone on this planet to die, everyone they sent. Because they're just go establish an economy and come back when you're done.
That is a 12.
Boom. Well, you see his lip kind of quivering and his eyes begin to water, and he's like, "You're right. Oh, you're right. I've been trying so hard. I've been looking over all of the different manuals, and I tried all the different ad campaign tactics to try and influence these aliens here, and they just will not go for it. Maybe it's time we break from protocol and try to get off, because I've been working on this new campaign for so long, and I just don't think it's going to work." And he shows you, he's painted a sign that's it's like a crude representation of one of the aliens that live on this planet, and he's giving a thumbs up as he's buying a the equivalent of a Coca-Cola. It's what do you think about the tagline? Enjoy.
That's real nice. I turned to the Braxton. What was her name again?
Mala.
Do you happen to know where there might be some stores of dilithium around here?
That's the catch. See, we have enough engine parts, or we have a working engine. We have enough parts from our crashed ship that we could get off this planet too. But the dilithium here is hoarded by the aliens. They mine it with these strange probes, and they take it, all to their little obelisks. We've found some luck with the cave systems and scrape together a bit of dilithium, but the cave systems have another problem. And then the Saurian, or not Saurian, I apologize. Basically the lizard guy, Dronu, chimes in, and he's like, the great lizard.
Great. What now?
It is a beast of Dronu legend, a great lizard that shall devour the world and end the universe. And Mala is like, he's being hyperbolic, but there is a giant lizard monster that lives down in the caves. It ate one of our friends, well, half of them.
Oh, I see. And then my mind just immediately races back to the cave and the ship getting eaten by a giant gecko. All right. Well, why don't we do this? Let's enter into a subcontract together so we can get this show on the road, and let's go lift some dilithium from the locals.
From the obelisks?
Yes.
Well, I'm game if you guys are, but I gotta say they have pretty good defenses around their little towers.
You could also try to kill the lizard.
The Dronu guy, who Grant identified as Credo, he speaks up and he's like, "The great lizard would be quite a challenge, but I am also amenable to fighting these aliens on their own turf." And he cracks his knuckles.
If we could get the great lizard to follow us into the cave where our ship is stashed, we could set up some traps, and then we could, then we could shoot it with. We have some pretty good weaponry on our ship, so we could use that as a fixed gun. So I think that could, and then we don't have to mess with the locals.
I'm sitting here pondering my options because there's not. Because did we get any traces of dilithium from like the lower bits of the?
Yeah, there's a ton down there.
There was a ton. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll probably need to employ these people to come and help us.
Yeah, they could come help.
Okay. We'll do this then. So tell you what. How much spare parts do you have with you?
Well, we'll show you. And by now you guys have gotten to their little campsite, and she kind of like pulls back a tarp, and reveals like all the working bits they salvaged from their ship. And it's indeed a lot. It's definitely enough to repair your life systems, and they have enough scrap sheets of metal to repair your hull as well.
Ah, yes. All right. I think my ship is a little bit more in better state than yours. I'll tell you what. We got it stashed over there in that mountain. You help us bring these spare parts over. Then we're going to take care of that giant gecko monster. And we're going to get that dilithium and we'll get the heck out of here.
Nice.
Well, Mala's like, sounds good to me. And Credo is like, you have my axe. And Grant is like, you are in charge, sir. I can whip these employees into shape. Just say the word.
Okay. And then I go, I guess since Grant's kind of like the pseudo leader of this group, then I go out and I say, the internal department of independent and outgoing traders is now officially entering in a subcontract with Grant of the UPC. And I go to shake his hand.
Yes. He shakes your hand, and he has his employee device, has a little contract whipped up, And he's like, in the absence of a high notary, I, Grant Monroe, acting notary, will notarize this on star date, 6969 of whatever.
420.
420. And he officiates it, and it is now official in UPC records.
All right.
So they hop into action. They start grabbing all the spare parts and grabbing their weapons. Credo indeed has an axe. He appears to have made from like a sharp piece of metal from the hull that he's like fashioned onto a large log. And then Mala has she of course has her knife, but she also slings like a beam rifle to her back. She is some sort of sharpshooter. And Grant doesn't have any weapons, but he does grab his employee handbook and puts on a fresh pair of cargo shorts and a hat.
I can't believe I made that up on the spot.
Yeah, I love that. Internal Department of Independent and Outgoing Traders. Oh, idiot. I didn't even get that.
Nice.
Beautiful. Yeah, he signs the idiot accord.
That's great.
Awesome. Bring everything back to the cave, and you're loading stuff up. Once you get back in there, and you get back, and am I glad to see you? I have just been going. I've been so desolate and alone. I've made as many repairs as I can to the ship, but I fear we will die here.
All right. I'm just kind of like motioning the rest of the guys into the cargo hold while they're bringing all the stuff. I'm like, yeah, just lay it down in there, and then I motion Polar to come over here and Seth, and we're gonna have like a little like group huddle.
Okay.
All right, Seth, you already know what the game is. Keep an eye on these guys. As far as they're concerned, and I'm telling this to Polar, I was like, Polar, as far as they're concerned, I'm a manager of the UPC, and they're going to help us get out of here, okay? Other than that, that's the story. I don't need to know anything else. Got it?
Cool.
Hey, they call me Polar Tight Lips.
Who calls you that?
Everyone down on the block.
Oh, okay.
In the
buddy.
yard.
How about you
Right.
start, alphabetizing my collections for now?
I mean, I feel like there's probably more helpful stuff I can do, but
There is, actually. Start taking all these spare supplies and start getting to work on repairing the ship. We got a gecko to kill.
hey, yeah, you got it, boss. And he's like into work. Mala is like looking at Polar, and she's like, "What's wrong with your android?"
It's
a long story.
Yeah, he got knocked on the head a little bit when we were coming in.
Got a little sugar in the tank.
Yeah, he's all right.
All right. Well, they get to work. Getting everything ready. The ship is being repaired. The hull is, they're like fusing the metal to the ship's hull and fixing life support systems and implementing all this stuff. But now, of course, is the having to go get the dilithium. So who's going to go down into the caves, get the dilithium, and should they be assaulted by a lizard, lead it back up here?
See, that's what I'm wondering if we could just kind of get the battle out of the way, like attract the lizard.
Oh, okay.
And then we can have everybody in this cavern fighting it together, and we can use the ship's cannons to shoot the lizard.
Well, yeah. How do you want to attract him up here?
Well, I do remember whenever we were doing that scan, hearing that rumbling noise, correct, or a low roar.
Yes.
So maybe if we make enough noise,
I'm gonna tell. Hey, Polar, where'd you put that scanner? Where'd it get off to?
It's under the chair.
right, I got it. And I go to look under the chair for the scanner.
There's like a bag of chips, an old like holographic magazine. Ah, here it is, the scanner.
Okay, and then I go, I take the scanner, I open it up, I go into the preferences, and then I set the volume up to really fucking loud, and then I have it give me a percentage report every single percent.
Every percent
instead of 5%.
Nice. All right, boop. Are you ready? Is ever
Yeah, I just tell everybody just stay down low, wait for it, wait till you see the whites of his eyes, so to speak, and then.
Can we give one of the grunt shields to the guy with the axe?
For sure. Yeah.
And then I guess I'm in the gunnery spot, manning the guns of the ship.
The titanium.
I'm gonna take the other
blaster.
One. I'm gonna take the other shield.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So Mala is like behind a rock outcropping with her beam rifle, like leveled at the cave, or like where the lizard would come out of the cave, and and Credo has his axe. He gratefully takes one of the grunt shields and activates it. Grant is like taking what he calls a tactical command position, way at the back behind a book. A bush. I mean, sorry. And then Seth's in the the gun position with the titanium blaster. And then where's Traxis posting up?
I'm gonna post up right next to the Brax girl, because she has that air that I feel safe right next to her.
Cool. All right, so you activate the thing, and it's like scanning 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. It's like when you set a computer to like say a giant number and just like hit enter and walk away, and it's like 1755 for the 7718. Very loud. It's echoing throughout the chamber, and not past like 10% do you start to hear like a rumbling as a cave begins to rumble, and indeed a large creature emerges. It's like running along the ceiling of the cave, and finally appears to you in its terrifying glory. It's a massive, giant, lizard-like creature. It's got like 8 legs, 4 on each side, and it looks like a gecko, but it's like a cave gecko, like it's albino and has massive eyes and those 8 legs and a big long tail. And as it like comes upon you, it like shrieks, and as it opens its mouth, reveals a gummy like tongue that appears coiled and ready to shoot out. So we'll say I'm just going to do for initiative good guys, bad guys, and you guys can go in whatever order, just because it's simpler. And but the gecko does have a +4 to its initiative, so just roll a d10 plus your agility, and then tell me the highest one you guys get.
Certainly not mine. I got rolled a 2.
I got a 2 as well, though. So a total of 6.
So d10 plus agility.
Yep, d10 plus agility. See if you can beat a 6.
Oh, I got a 2.
Everyone got 2.
I'm gonna grab some better d10s. Hold on. I gotta grab another set of dice. All right. Here we go. Let's do this.
Is Polar inside the ship, or is he like out and about working on the outside of the ship?
I imagine he probably got the medical or the life support systems up and running first. I imagine that patching a big, great hole in the side of the ship would take a little bit longer, so he was going to do that last. So
he's on the outside, with like a fusion tool, fusing the walls together. So the gecko creature acts first, and it like shrieks, and then it's like and shoots its tongue out at Polar. And it's making an attack roll. Let's see. Ooh, 9 + 4. The gecko's tongue flicks out, grabs Polar as it sticks to him. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And yanks him back, and the gecko just Polar goes into the gecko's mouth, and you just see the gecko just go like, "Gulp." And then he just like shrieks again.
Oh shit, my android!
All right, good guy's turn.
I'm gonna shoot the thing in the face with the
Go for
cannon.
Eat titanium, bitch. And its difficulty is going to be 10 to hit. Is his dodge?
Well, I got a 13.
Boom! You blast a load of hot titanium at the lizard, striking it, and it is quite damaging. It sears into the gecko's like skin and like definitely scars it. It's like all like this pale albino thing, but now it has like its whole right side is just like Anakin Skywalker style like burned off flesh, and it's like skittering around the ceiling angrily and hissing.
Nice.
It appears like it's still wanting to eat you. It's aggravated, but it has not faltered quite yet. But that's 1 hit point down from its total. What's Traxis doing?
I'm gonna squeeze a shot off with my little blaster pistol.
Okay, gotta hit a 10.
Okay, that's an 8. Damn.
Pew! You blast, and it's skittering around the ceiling too fast, and it just hits the roof of the ceiling. Mala goes, I guess, and she is boosted to hit it. She's gonna try. Boom! Barely hits it with an 8+2. That's so her beam rifle. She pegs it between the eyes, and it's definitely stunned. It like falls off the ceiling. There's a huge thud as the creature like lands on the cave floor. It flips back onto its belly, but it's dazed and confused, and definitely severely injured. 1 more hit should probably do the trick.
Though I imagine that Mr. Axeman, now that it's on the ground, is just running up there.
Yeah. Kratos like, whoa! Jumps in the air. Kratos attack with the axe. Boom. That's a hit. It's a 14. So Kratos jumps up and he, smashes through the creature's brain with his axe. And as it like slides down, its giant body going limp, he's like, "Rest in peace in the great beyond, kin." And then he like licks his blade.
Well, now to get my android back. Paul Argett, get out of there! Come on, we got shit to do.
In the belly, you just hear like it's like, "Hey, where am I? Oh, come on! Oh, it's dark, and who turned out the lights?"
I tell, since the lizard man is standing there, it's like, Mr. Kratos, good sir, if you don't mind, can you help him out?
I shall open up its belly, though it is ceremonial for us in Dronu culture to eat our defeated foe. Will you join me in a feast of the great lizard?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
just sit there. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Well, he's he like cuts it open and he just like carves off some slices of meat. Polar like rolls out of the thing's belly and he's like covered in slime and acid and goo, and he's like, "Oh, my sensors are going crazy."
Paul, get back on the ship.
Yeah, all right, here I go. Walks off. Kratos just like just eating the meat raw. He gives you guys some like meat slices.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Should we go get the
Dilithium now?
Yeah, the dilithium.
Mala and Kratos are like, "Well, we will accompany you." But Grant is like, "Yeah, that sounds a bit dangerous. I think it would be tactically more sound if I were to stay here with the android and help repair the ship."
How is the ship looking right now, by the way? How far
It's
out?
almost done. It just needs some more TLC on the hull.
Okay. I'd rather keep all of these people where I can see them. I say, nah, Android's got it. I think it'd be better if you come with us, Mr. Assistant Manager, please.
I definitely don't trust this guy.
Hi, sir. Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
I'm gonna take the tactical leadership position, and I'm gonna mosey on behind the back of the group and let them
Okay.
lead the way.
Well, you head back down into the caves, and you got like a flashlight from Seth's camera, and probably elsewhere. I would say Kratos also just like straight up has a torch and lights it.
Where did you get a torch from?
I made it.
From the oil of the gecko.
From the oil of the gecko.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys are descending down and down, and eventually you get to this wide open cavern room, and the lights from your flashlight and torch glitter across all of the different like dilithium geode crystalline veins throughout this whole cavern. It is indeed lush with dilithium, more dilithium than you've ever seen on any vein anywhere in the corporation space. Grant is like, his mouth is watering. He's like, oh, the mother lode.
Right. Well,
Let's get as much as we can. Fill up the
ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so you guys start grabbing it, going back to the ship, dumping it off, grabbing more, dumping it off in the cargo hold, and eventually you have a full cargo hold of dilithium crystals, enough to power your ship for a long time and still have some to sell elsewhere.
Nice.
It's still, you only take probably like 1/8 of what's in this cavern.
Just kind of fill the ship up to the brim.
Yep. Cool. Well, you fill it up. Like after you took the first load, like Polar began like refining one of the geode rocks, and has enough by the time you finish refined dilithium that the engines are now online. The hull is fixed, life support's online, and the tank is full.
Right. Cool. So as we're bringing loads in, if there's some point that everybody's kind of like gone back to get another load, I hang back and I talk to Polar. I first look around and I see if there's anybody else in earshot, if me and Polar are just alone.
It's just you and Polar.
Okay, cool. And I say, go ahead and get the ship turned around. Once we come back for this last load, I'm gonna get Seth on first, and we're just gonna gun it out of here. We're gonna leave these losers.
Shit. Like, okay, boss, you got it.
All right. And I go catch up with
the rest of the people on the last. Yeah. So when you get back for the last haul, the ship is now turned around, and the engines are idling. Polar is like waving his hand out the side of it, of the open door to the ship, and he's like, good to go.
All right.
Mala is like walking side by side with you guys, and she's like, oh, I can't believe the nightmare is over. I couldn't bear the idea of like living forever on this blasted rock with this guy. And she like points over to Grant, who's like taking up the rear, and he's like looking at all the dilithium crystals and like giggling. He's like, that's just enough to get a promotion. I mean, I could be manager, I could be senior manager, I could be regional manager with this much dilithium.
Why you even hanging out with this guy anyway?
I was, he's my boss. I was contra. What can you do? He's a coworker, and we're just stuck here.
You could come with us.
I was planning to. That's still okay, right? Can
No, I mean like further down the road. Come with us.
Like join up with your crew?
Yeah. I don't know if Traxis thinks that's okay. You seem to be able to handle yourself in a fight.
That's what I was getting at. But you see, for the kind of line of work that we're in, we don't need assistant managers, if you catch my drift.
Aren't you a manager?
In a manner of speaking, I'm the manager. I'm the manager of my own destiny.
Well, okay, you get to the edge of the door now. You're at the precipice to the ship. You're standing on like the extended like gangplank thing, and you hear Polar is like, "Are we doing this, boss? What should I do?"
You and your reptiloid friend there, they're pretty okay guys. However, Mr. Human over there, he's seems to have a little bit of screws loose. A little bit too involved in the corporation. You know what I mean?
Mala is like, I think I get your drift, and she like nudges Kratos, and Kratos like just silently like nods. He's like, and then as Grant, assistant manager Grant begins like step on the gangplank, Kratos like blocks his entry, and he's like holds out his axe, and he's like, no further. And Grant's like, what do you mean, employee? Please remove yourself from my way. I need to bring this load of dilithium onto the ship. And Kratos is like, one step further, and you'll lose your life.
Can I do a thing here?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna step up on the game plank, and I'm gonna pull my pistol out, and I'm just gonna kind of hang it there at my hip. And what's the impression on Mr. Grant's face?
He looks around. He starts surveying the situation. He's like, "Oh, I see. I see what this is. That's right. That's fine. Leave the human. Okay. What did humanity ever do for the galaxy except for form the most profitable corporation in all of history? You goddamn idiots! You idiots! You're gonna leave me here? Is that what you're gonna do? You idiots!"
I say, I'm sorry, kid. This is just a spot of bad luck for you.
Bye-bye.
Case of wrong place, wrong time, And then I pull my gun up and I point it at him and I say, "Truth is, the game was rigged from the start." And I put one right in his fucking chest.
He's blasted, just like falls to the ground, shot in the head. He's dead, or is he? Dun dun dun. But no, he's on the ground, and you guys get back in the shuttlecraft, and the gangplank proceeds, and Polar's like, "All right, here we go." You blast off.
Oh man,
nice.
Cool. Well, with enough dilithium, you're able to warp straight out of the atmosphere and up into space. And you now have Kratos and Mala aboard your ship as well. As the epilogue, you guys are like safely traveling through space continuing on into rogue unexplored space, and you're chilling out. The ship's on autopilot, or maybe Polar's in the cockpit, but you guys are in the newly repaired living room, hanging out on the half-burnt couch.
It's a good
some
couch.
other tables.
It's very good.
Any epilogue activities you guys get up to?
Yeah, I'm just continuing to document my fellow crewmates, especially when they're using the VR goggles.
Check. I have a setting you should check out. Run Seth. Run program Seth favorite one.
It's just
get ready.
It's just a guy eating like in a hot dog eating contest, like super messily.
Very erotic. In Zenoid cultures, they like keep track of all different species, and so what they find erotic is quite specific because they've seen everything in the multiverse.
We eat nutrient-rich pastes, like that's the only thing we eat, and it's like totally fine for us. We don't, it's not. We're not foodies or anything. We don't really have developed taste buds. So like the idea that creatures would eat certain things and compete in eating is just like completely foreign to us.
Hot dog eating contest. It's Kobayashi. All right. Yeah,
I'm probably just on the bridge with Polar, and now that we got a couple new crew members who I will probably have to pay out of my own damn pocket. So it's a couple more mouths to feed, but that's fine. We gotta ship full of dilithium. So I'm
Wait, you guys are
currently-
getting paid?
So I'm currently on the bridge with Polar, plotting a course back to familiar space, somewhere we can offload some dilithium to either somebody scrupulous and or unscrupulous.
Yes, you're probably to the Free Planet Band. You're a nice haven for scallywags like you, rogue renegades from the corporation. Yeah, another day, another job, another day in the void, trying to scrape together enough credits to one day do more than just get by.
Nice.
Dun 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 dun.
You'll never
dun, 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 dun.
black from me.
Oh yeah, we got Firefly and Star Trek, but no,
Yeah, yeah.
both. I mean, both just excellent end credit themes to go on.
Definitely.
Well, cool. Thank you guys for playing.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was
Oh
fun.
my
That was
gosh,
cool.
that was really fun. I really liked how that ended. That was really
Awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space buds, we're buds in space. We're space best friends. Space buds, we're buds in space. Best friends until the end. We're space buds.